Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Super FilmsCast 64. This is our third installment of Super FilmsCast 64. Super FilmsCast 64 is on its third episode. The trilogy, episode 3, Super FilmsCast 64. Super FilmsCast 64, episode 3, the third installment of our podcast called Super FilmsCast 64. FilmsCast 64.
Just a few more ways that you can do it.
The third FilmsCast of the year of our Lord 2017 64, which is a number that is the third of our FilmCast.
More Lord.
Mordor.
This guy loves films. gets right into the
film.
Oh, let me bring it back to films.
Or pictures, yes.
Oh, yes,
pictures.
You're right. Obviously, the pictures.
Oh, the picture. I don't see films anymore. I see pictures.
Hey, did you see that one where the train's coming at the screen? I nearly jumped out of my chair.
It's called The Great Train Robbery. That's about as far as I go with my film knowledge.
I went down to the Nickelodeon and saw myself a picture.
A picture, yes. I paid $0.25 and I got to see a film.
It was a nickel. That's why it was called a Nickelodeon, Trey.
Inflation, though.
All right.
Yeah. So, welcome. This is Super FilmsCast 64, episode 3. If you didn't know by our dialogue at the beginning of the podcast, I'm Trey Mitchell. And to my immediate front is Adam Fullerton.
Hey.
That's
me.
That's you, Fullerton. That's your last name, right?
Nah, it's Fullerton.
Now it's Fullerton.
Yeah, because I want to sound like a robot man.
You want to sound like a Michael Bay man.
Is that a Michael Bay sounding thing?
Yeah, well, it's Transformers. More than meets the eye. Michael Bay does the Transformers.
That's true. He also did Pain and Gain, which is a good movie.
He also did Bad Boys 2.
He did Bad Boys as well?
Yeah.
Or Bad Boys 2, too?
I think he did both.
Well, all right then.
Michael
Bay.
Shout out to Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Hey, when the rest of Hollywood's afraid to make a Benghazi movie, you know who to call.
Michael Bay. Get Jim from The Office and get the other dude from The Office, and you got a movie.
Dwight?
No, it was
Michael.
Pam's boyfriend.
Roy,
yeah. It was him and Jim. They teamed up. Because Hillary Clinton killed Pam.
Oh, no.
No. You can't do this.
Guys, aren't we so glad that she's not in office?
Oh, I don't like her. I don't like the guy in office either. I think both of them.
Oh, you're one of those
I'm one of those people. Those privileged
who doesn't
people
like either? Oh, let me tell you about all the great options out there.
This is our political podcast. That was a great segue.
Oh,
no,
was
I
it?
mean, because you went to Washington over the weekend,
I guess,
right?
yeah, I guess it was. Yeah.
You were there picketing, protesting.
Well, yeah. First, I got
the Dark Lord Trump.
I got a cool new alt-right haircut.
Yeah, you do.
In support of. Oh no, you haven't even seen it without the hat on.
No, get the hat
off.
off.
Everyone knows. Wow, look how Hitlerish I look.
It's alt-right Adam.
Yeah, so I got my alt-right haircut.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I heard that all these Confederate memorials are going to be taken down soon.
You can't have any of
so
that.
I gotta get over there. I gotta see them before they're gone.
You gotta see them before they're gone. 1 week only.
I gotta see my heritage.
Your heritage.
Yeah. It's reflected.
I hate heritage, right?
I went to my elementary school. It's called Heritage.
Oh.
Heritage Elementary.
There you go. That's what you're all about, man.
Heritage Hawks are hats off to you.
We were the Huffman Hawks.
I feel like every elementary school is the Hawks.
Or the Eagles. Or the Wildcats.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of, because there's so much opportunity, because there's so many schools, it could be, the boogers.
Shout out to the South Lake Dragons. Dragon is a badass mascot.
The logo doesn't look cool.
No, but just dragon, that's badass.
You know what's really cool? You know Hebron?
Yeah.
Hebron Hawks? I didn't realize this initially. They did a whole rebranding thing. They had this, now they have this like badass H.
Oh yeah?
As their logo. And I was like, that's a cool looking H. And then I was watching a documentary on the XFL, they just took a XFL team's logo, and I was like, no wonder it's badass.
Yeah. Copycats.
It's cool if it's the XFL.
Yeah.
More XFL in my life.
Shout out to the XFL.
Yeah.
Just shout out.
Vince McMahon.
Shout out to Vince McMahon.
You know that they inspired technology, like
they
like
inspired technology, yeah.
the overhead camera, and some other things.
Can we give a shout out to the overhead camera?
Yeah,
that's a cool camera.
Let's give it out. Then there was one called the Bubba Cam.
Okay.
When there's a steady cam on the field.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bubba Cam.
Shout out to the Bubba Cam. Shout out.
Shout out.
Just
shout it out.
So what'd you do in Washington?
I don't know. Just went around and looked at museums and shit.
Protested.
No protests. There was some run for curing cancer.
Yeah.
That I walked by.
You were walking in the run. Good job.
No, they were done, and I
disrupt the run by just walking past it.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to go look at the 9/11 tower. They had the broadcast like spear at the top of the World Trade Center was there. There's a lot of cool stuff. Actually, have you ever been to DC?
I've not been to DC.
Well, if you go to the museum.
I've not been outside of DFW.
That's not true.
It's true.
You went to Las Vegas once. I saw the Snapchats.
I forget it. I was trying to make a ruse, and that didn't work. Yeah.
Busted.
So I saw that you tried to get on the White House grounds and tackle Donald Trump and try to grab him in his pussy.
Yeah, he was at Mar-a-Lago.
Oh.
Yeah, I just ended up grabbing Barron's pussy by mistake. Yeah.
That thing is just, yeah.
It's barren right now.
Yeah, it's barren. Yeah, man, I don't want to. No, I don't want to get into politics shit. I always thought it'd be funny though, like at a baseball game or something. You just have a note in your pocket that says, in your jacket pocket that says, "Hello." Let's say it's like, I don't know. Let's say it's, I always like Michael Young. I know that's way back. Okay. Let's say it's
the bottom of the ninth.
Mike Napoli, and you just start running towards him, and someone's gonna tackle you at first, but that's the point. They tackle you. They take out the note in your jacket pocket, and it says, like, Mike Napoli, my name is whatever. I'm from the future. I'm here to save you.
Like that. That's a thing that you could do. I'm kind of surprised at how many people actually get out there.
Yeah.
And like they're able to get to players. Like there's a kid who went out there and got to Lionel Messi and Ronaldo and stuff. That stuff happens all the time.
And wasn't there one guy who ran onto the White House grounds and actually went inside the Oval
Office? Yeah, he got
office?
inside, yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see how. Fence is not that tall. Security does not look that agile. There's lots of them, but there's so many police there. Just watching, waiting for you to make a mistake.
I wish you ran on the field like that'd be so funny.
Yeah, it would have been. What about the guy who like flew his little car?
Yeah.
And crashed on Capitol Hill. No, dude, there's a guy who was like in one of those old flying machines.
Yeah.
It was like a bike powered helicopter that crashed onto Capitol Hill. Something about taxes or
just
something.
A bill on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, he really showed them.
He showed those people.
The fat cats.
Fat cats on Washington.
Yeah, let me tell you how hot it was there. It wasn't the temperature; it was all the hot air from those politicians.
Oh, those blowhards.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fat cats.
Fat cats.
Pork barrel spending.
I did a great cartoon for the New York Times where it was just a fat cat on Washington. It was an actual fat cat. Hilarious. Went over so well.
That's really cutting political satire.
Yeah, it's cutting political satire.
The thing about being like a really good political cartoonist is like you're really smart, but you're also very funny.
Yeah, that's who I am.
You watch a picture.
Watch a picture.
And then you come out and you're like, hey, you know who needs to get taken down a peg? Let me start drawing some donkeys.
I don't know where this is going anymore.
Democrats.
Democrats, man. The Democrats.
So Trey, tell me
Yeah.
about movies that you like.
Movies are a thing you can watch on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
I like movies. I haven't been watching a lot of movies because my life's a living fucking wreck and I can't figure out what to do.
No.
It just downward spirals. We have a movie we're going to talk about that we did watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like every week on Super Games Cast, you've been playing games and you have things to talk
I haven't really been
about.
playing games, though. That's the thing either.
But all of a sudden, Super Films
video.
Cast comes and I don't know. My life's just such a wreck. I can't watch movies.
I can't watch the movies. No, I'm watching a few things. I have the things on the list. I need to revamp my watch list because I looked at it and there's like 300 movies on there. And I'm like, never going to watch half of these. And so I need to kind of break it down, make a list of... Actually, I did make a list of movies that I'm watching for future projects. And so it's a lot of horror films, a lot of sci-fi films. So I don't want to just make this podcast a vessel for me to watch these movies for
other things.
Yeah, but
just get multiple uses.
Yeah, but there are a few movies on there I like to watch together and discuss. Yeah. Like Videodrome has sort of been a movie that I've always kind of wanted to watch. Okay. And like Event Horizon is sort of a movie I've been wanting to watch. And so maybe we could talk. I know I did make that whole spreadsheet. And maybe we could talk about just movies from these lists we could maybe watch.
Let me tell you, this feels like an off-air conversation.
On air, yes. Well, you are a big jerk.
Well, I just kicked the table so hard the whole room shook.
I've not been watching a whole bunch of movies, but I've been watching a lot of CinemaSins and movie reviews online. Online.
Interesting.
So I'm excited for the new Alien Covenant. I've been watching sort of alien stuff kind of all week, and so I'm excited for that.
So you've been getting pumped up?
Getting pumped up, man. Getting pumped up for the aliens,
Yeah. I guess on my plane to DC, they had movies, films, pictures there, and there was an error with the card reader, so they gave us a chance to watch some for free, and I decided, I'm okay. There was like Doctor Strange.
Oh, the Stanley Kubrick film.
No, that's Doctor Strange. Love, Trey.
Oh.
I'm talking about Doctor Strange with Benedict Cumberbatch.
What do girls see in Benedict Cumberbatch?
I don't know.
The guy has weird eyes. He looks like a reptile, kind of.
Maybe that's what they're into.
Maybe that's it. Because girls love Benedict Cumberbatch.
Girls want the Cumberbitches, as they call themselves.
Yeah, they are the Cumberbitches.
That's not me, you guys. That's what they call themselves.
It is. I'm not a sexist. I just play one on TV. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, he's a good actor. I just don't get what they see in him.
Yeah, I wasn't that interested in the movie, first off. And then second off, if I'm going to see it, this movie that is like Oscar nominated for special effects, I wasn't going to watch it on a 6-inch screen in front of me. Yeah.
I know one guy that does that. He'll do that for like Interstellar and just these big blockbusters, but he's not really a movie guy, but he infuriates people by doing that. Yeah.
So anyway, there's a lot of trailers that came out.
There were a lot of trailers. I did watch a lot of
recently.
trailers this week. I guess that's sort of a movie kind of thing.
So there's Dunkirk, the new Christopher Nolan movie.
It looks like a war movie, I'm interested to see kind of what kind of spin he puts on that. I guess I don't know too much of the history of Dunkirk. What is the whole historical significance of it? It's
just like the British are just surrounded.
Yeah.
And then basically just massacred.
Jeez.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And so it's got Tom Hardy.
It does, where his face is covered again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a pilot.
Yeah. I did see a funny little meme, a meme, as you will, on the internet, where it was the higher the budget of the movie, the more of Tom Hardy's face is covered, because it showed Dark Knight Rises, Mad Max, now this, where his face is just covered,
totally covered.
Yeah,
I like that. That's a funny meme.
It's a funny meme.
Good job, meme.
Good job, internet. On your memes.
And then there's let's see, Harry Styles is in it from One Direction.
Yeah. I don't know too much about Harry Styles.
Oh, he's a hunk.
He's a hunk?
Uh-huh. And then there's the guy who played the Scarecrow.
Oh, yeah, I like that guy. Yeah, he's good.
He has the most English name besides
Benedict
Cumberbatch. Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, that's a pretty British name.
Yeah.
He looks British, too.
Yeah, he's a very British-looking man.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Europe?
No, I've not.
You know something that's weird about Europe that you don't really think about?
They're all ugly?
No, they were actually all very attractive.
Really?
Yeah, this is another thing. It wasn't what I was going to talk about. They all have their, like, nose kind of
up,
goes up.
Really? You know what that's?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Well,
Inbreeding.
maybe it is, but I am into the inbred. Then
you're into the up nose girl.
I'm into it.
Am I doing
it? I think it's a good look.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else? What was the other thing?
They don't wear colors.
Really?
It's every single person wears black. Like only black.
Yeah.
I also wore a baseball hat, and this girl came up and she was like, "I knew you were American," and I was like, "How?" Because it like wasn't a like actual base. It wasn't like a Rangers hat, but she was like, "No one wears baseball hats here," and I was like, "That makes sense.
American.
You don't like
anything.
You don't like baseball, so why would you wear?"
Where did you go in Europe?
London, Liverpool.
Oi, governor.
Yeah, I saw the governor.
Oi, governor. I got the porridge here.
Yeah.
I named my porridge.
I had
Did you have some porridge?
I had black pudding.
I got some black pudding.
Some black sausage.
Did you get the sausage bangers over here?
Black beans.
Did you get the fish and chips?
Blackened chicken.
A lot of black things there. A lot of blackened.
That's what I'm saying. No colors.
Dude, what's up with we need to make England great again.
Another funny thing, just from watching, this is totally off topic, but
sure.
They don't wear sunglasses because there's never sun out. Yeah. So if you're ever watching a soccer game and the sun comes out, like the whole side of the crowd goes and has their hand right over their brows because they don't own sunglasses. Okay, so Dunkirk. That's all you need to know about Dunkirk.
Show trip to Europe.
All right, we'll put it on the schedule.
Yeah,
and put it in the Google Doc, and we'll get to everything in the Google Doc.
Yeah. Soon. Episode 5.
Yeah. So there's Dunkirk. What was it? There's Wonder Woman.
I didn't watch the trailer for that.
They do a thing that bothers me. It's like a common movie thing where Chris Evans goes and like gets Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, from her island, and then they come to America, and then someone's like, "Say, how do you two know each other?" And they're like, "I don't know. She's and she's like, "I'm Diana, princess of," and he's like, "Diana, prince," and she's my. It's like, hey.
Just a mix-up.
Figure that out.
Big old mix-up.
The first thing that you would do in that situation is be like, all right, here's who you are, what your name is, and what you mean to me. First of all, I don't know why she needed to have some sort of fake name.
Just say I'm Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Well, no.
And another thing that I thought about while watching the trailer was because it's set in World War I, is that technology has kind of made superheroes like kind of, I don't know, more super. It's like in a way where you're like, I don't like Superman has super strength, right? Yeah. But it's like, okay, but now he can get hit with a bomb and still be okay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So like the more advanced the weapons are,
right,
the more advanced the superhero becomes because the weapons can't really do anything to them.
Right. So like Wonder Woman, she has like little cuffs that deflect bullets.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But then if it's like a machine gun, that's harder.
She could deflect those.
Well, yeah.
She's Wonder Woman. You saying Wonder Woman can't do that? What are you, a sexist?
Yeah, but now she has kinds of other super abilities that they don't even bring. Like it's about, the cuffs, and now she's like able to move faster than bullets and stuff. Yeah. Superhero movies wear me out. I'm
fine with some of them. I tend to like them. I prefer them more than your remakes or your redos or movies based on TV shows or movies that have a sequel after 15 years or, anything like that. Or just sort of, I don't know. I'm okay with the superhero movie because I think for the most part they're pretty well done.
No, I would agree with that.
I have a stance against certain shows on the station from 3 to 7 that just anytime a superhero movie comes up, they just barf on air. They just projectile.
Yeah, no, there's definitely movies that do it well, and then there's movies that kind of say, well, this is the superhero formula. We're gonna follow this formula that's worked, and because we have a built-in audience, we're gonna make a ton of money. And it's just like one of the very first shots in the Wonder Woman trailer is her diving off of this cliff.
Yeah.
And it immediately goes into this CGI that's like not that good. And it's just like, man, that's like your second shot of the trailer. That's tough for me.
Yeah. The DC movies as of late have not been that great at all. And it's because they're trying to get that magic that Marvel had. And I don't even think Marvel has that kind of magic that much anymore. I don't know. I mean, they, Guardians of the Galaxy definitely has that kind of magic, but I think it's because it's so different than the Avengers.
Yeah, and I mean, Deadpool, same thing.
Yeah.
Like, those were, if you talk about those movies.
And Logan. Yeah.
The thing is that they're all different.
Yes.
Even though, I guess you have Captain America Civil War, which still made a ton of money.
Yeah. And I'm not a big Captain America guy. I still haven't seen Winter Soldier, which I hear is pretty different too.
I can't say I've seen. I don't know what it is.
I think it's supposed to be more of a spy flick than it is a superhero flick, from what I gather from people and sources who've seen it.
Yeah, that's another thing that they're doing now, that eventually they're going to run out of things with.
I don't know if they're going to run out of things.
Well, but it's just like, now it's a superhero in a horror movie, and now it's a superhero in a musical, and now it's a superhero in cartoon.
Yeah, but you could argue they've been doing that forever. I mean, every movie is sort of similar. You still have action movies. You still have big dumb action movies. I do think the bubble will burst one day, but I don't have a problem with them like some people do. I think there's always ways to innovate, and at least they are innovating. Like Logan and Deadpool and Guardians.
Yep.
I don't I think even from what I've been hearing about the new Guardians, even the sequels kind of taking a zig when people thought they would go one way, or zag or whatever. Yeah.
I'm interested. Is Infinity War is the one that they're building to, right?
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see after that happens what kind of or if everyone was like, oh, this is what we were building up to, and it was just a giant muddled mess of enormous names and popular people.
That could possibly happen. You got big contracts. That's the thing about movies, is that you have all these contracts and egos working against each other. It's not like a book where you have all your characters and you're one person running this book. You have to pay these people. These people are real life people, and it costs money, and you got to work with schedules and contracts, and oh my God, I hate that when you forget the name of someone that's obvious.
Ooh.
Robert Downey Jr.
Hey,
like he had his Iron Man redid his career,
Yeah,
and so he probably doesn't want to do it anymore because now his career is revitalized. And he's like, okay, well, I have that. Now I can do other things, but now I'm Iron Man. I'm not going to be Iron Man for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I don't want to be typecast.
Yeah.
I want to also do Sherlock Holmes movie.
And I want to just be the same quirky dickhead character I am in every movie. By the way,
it's pretty great.
He was in Zodiac. I think Zodiac might be the most underrated movie ever. One of them, at least.
I enjoy Zodiac.
We should do that for another show, though.
We can do that.
No, that's a topic by itself. Like,
we'll make it
movies.
Jake Gyllenhaal cast.
Jake Gyllenhaal cast, which kind of leads into our topic, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So another one that came out today, is the new Blade Runner trailer.
Yep.
You've seen it.
I have seen it.
I have not.
Well, you're going to watch it right now.
Yeah, I have it pulled up on my phone.
Maybe I should watch it too. Hold on, let me pull up on my phone as well. Which one do you have?
I don't. What kind of phone?
No. What
What trailer?
Yeah, I guess because
One
there's
that
different
came out today,
pages.
I guess. I don't know.
No, there's different like YouTube. I know like the Warner Bros. One has a little thing before it. So
Is it about Atari? It says Blade Runner 2049 official trailer.
Blade Runner. Hold on, let me find this here. I'm getting like a whole bunch of trailer and now breakdowns and whatnot. I watched the trailer breakdown earlier, which wasn't very good.
Ooh, I like the reaction videos where people are just like,
Yeah.
huh?
Ooh.
Ah! Ooh. Huh?
Okay.
Because they don't want to talk over it because it's their reaction.
Is it by Warner Brothers?
I'm sure it is. It's okay. Harrison Ford punched somebody.
Yeah. Okay. Go back. Press play.
Okay. Wait. Go
Because
back.
that's a little like it's weird. Warner Bros. Does this thing. I think
It's like a trailer.
Like, here's the trailer for the trailer.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
So
All right.
you want me to go back or you want me to
Go back.
Okay.
Back. So I'm right here.
Yep, that's where I am.
Okay. Countdown 3, 2, 1.
Playing it. Atari. Ryan Gosling.
Oh, you're playing it right now?
What? You said 3, 2, 1.
No. I was gonna let's do a countdown 3, 2, 1. God damn it.
You said. Oh God.
Jesus,
this is the.
Where's Austin? Where's
No.
Austin?
No, hold on. You
Where's
said,
Austin?
hold on, let's do a countdown, 3, 2, 1. And so I assumed that meant go. Why would, what, you did a countdown for a countdown? What are you, Warner Brothers?
Yeah, I guess so. All right, you ready? 3.
Is this the actual one?
Yes, it's the actual one,
Okay.
Adam. 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay.
So yeah, we're watching the trailer. Oh, it's the trailer for the
The
trailer.
water. No, the water fell on him. Okay.
Bong.
Little pyramid.
Bong. No, it's the same kind of architecture they had in the.
Oh, no, I know. There's some naked people into this.
Was built off the back of a disposable workforce.
Okay, Jared Leto. Looks.
But I can only make so many.
Oh, his eyeballs are weird. Oh, he made a
Birthday.
gross person.
There is an order to things.
They had the same kind of score.
That's
Yeah.
what we do here.
I don't think that's Deckard's
Alright.
pistol.
The world is built
All
on
right,
a wall that
holograms.
separates
In for
time.
holograms.
Tell either side there's no wall.
Tears and Rain.
Mm-hmm. Oh, some girls with an invisible double dildo in their mouths.
I did your job once. I was good at it.
Oh, see, he's smart. He stepped over the tripwire.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Ford's there.
I know. What do you want? I want to ask you some questions.
You know what that's all about, right?
That's some engaging dialogue.
Well, the
The
significance.
future
I'll take that.
is finally unearthed.
Okay, so we got.
Bring it to me.
Oh, so Jared Leto's a bad guy.
They know you're here.
Now I saw some of this in the trailer for the trailer.
Yeah.
Bautista?
Yeah.
Whoa. Ryan
I always
Gosling.
told you, you're special. Your story isn't over yet.
Oh, but the book had all the pages torn out.
Mm.
Was he crying?
Tears and Rain. Time to die.
Okay.
So, what do you think? What are your impressions?
I saw a lot of Ryan Gosling struggling to emote.
Which is so weird because, you know, seeing The Nice Guys, he's so good in that movie.
Yeah.
You know? But like Drive and this, he just...
I guess that is kind of a perfect Harrison Ford like equivalent though, because Harrison Ford's kind of just like, I'm gonna do this and not let anything ruffle me.
And now I think Indiana Jones is a little more campy, but not as much.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah. Okay, so tell me what you think. Is you're the big Blade Runner fan here?
So the significance of him saying I have, because the dialogue's a little clunky, but him saying, I want to ask you a few questions is significant because the test they did to see if someone was a silent or not silent,
right,
a replicant,
right,
was they had a series of questions they would ask.
Yes,
and then,
I remember this.
And so that's sort of the whole point at the end of Blade Runner was that you were questioning, was Deckard a replicant?
Right.
And it was kind of left it ambiguous, and I hope it still leaves it. I hope
it's gonna answer it.
Well, no, I mean, I want it either has to be ambiguous or yes, he is a replicant, because I think it should be that way. It should be he's a replicant.
I think it's way cooler if he's a replicant.
Yeah, I do.
But
too.
I also think that it'd be lame if like Inception 2 started and like the top stopped spinning and it's like,
I know.
oh, okay, well that takes away a cool thing.
That takes away the whole movie,
right?
The whole significance of the movie.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why I was kind of against this in the first place.
Yeah,
it was just such a cool ending, and you're just gonna fucking ruin that.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's interesting. I love the world.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, the
architecture is kind of the same. There's a lot of. It doesn't look like they're overdoing it too much. I mean, there's some very, like a lot of the statues and the big women, the tall women stuff looks like really extravagant, but it doesn't look like they're keeping like those pyramids at the beginning, like those buildings are keeping those, that same kind of neon look of the city.
Yeah.
They're keeping that.
The city didn't look as dark though,
no,
because in the first one, I imagine they did it all on a set that was
sets
just like
sets and models and all that.
Just like made to look like a city street. This, it looks like probably is in front of some sort of a blue screen or something where they can make things a little brighter. But I kind of dug the dark aesthetic of it, where it's like open and outside, but it's also like kind of claustrophobic because there's like tall buildings all around.
And I'm a little disappointed. I didn't really notice much of the Chinese culture at all in there, because that was that was the thing in the movie, is that the whole LA was pretty much run by the Chinese.
Yes.
Like it was all Chinese.
Right.
Yeah.
It was, and that's a weird thing that they would, I don't know if they wouldn't want to like upset them, but you would think that like with foreign markets being as big as they are.
We should do a podcast on this, because there's articles about how big the Chinese market is now.
Oh, it's huge.
It's humongous, and it's almost getting to a point where it's almost a little dangerous, because a lot of these movies now are being kind of led in a certain ways because of the Chinese, which now it's like, okay, you have to use Chinese actors. You can't speak bad about the Chinese, and and you have to film in China. You have to have Chinese products, and it could get to a point where it's like, well, you need to promote Chinese policy, China communism and all that. So it could get sticky, but I'm surprised that you didn't see that Chinese sort of influence in there at all.
Maybe they'll talk about it in the movie.
In the movie.
The picture.
I think it looks good. I think it looks cool. There's some clunky dialogue. I like the thing that the replicants kind of slither out in that way. It's all gross. And, I don't know. I think he's probably works for Tyrell Corp. Jared Leto does.
Yeah. How do you feel about old Jared Leto?
I'm fine. I don't have anything against him. I know he did that horrible Joker. That was bad, and he should feel bad.
I think it was a... Yeah, if I didn't see Suicide Squad again, get mad at me, internet. I don't care.
Matt, you're gonna piss off Matt Birmingham.
Listen, Matt Birmingham.
You're gonna piss off Matt. You know Matt?
No,
he
but
works
I'll
up here.
Bare knuckle box him.
All right.
Get him in a ring with me, and I'll
Fight
give
night.
him. I'll give him the
night.
what for.
Fight night.
Yeah, let's do it.
You might be bigger than him though.
Well, good.
Yeah.
That's a risk you
very
take when you're
small guy.
Well, it's a risk you take when you're a small man and you just start challenging people you don't know to fights.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't see it, but from what I heard, the biggest problem with the Joker was that he was almost underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not that it was that great.
The tattoos.
Well, yeah, and the costumes and stuff
Yeah.
are hilarious because people are so disturbed.
You know what's funny is that Matt was so upset because they got best makeup and costume.
Yeah.
And he was so pissed because he's like, now that justifies the Joker. Because they got best costume at the Academy Awards. And I was laughing. Yes, the Joker won. And there's
such
all those
a bad
memes
boy.
of the Joker's
He's so damaged.
Yeah, he's so damaged. He's all those tattoos. How did he get all those tattoos?
Got gold teeth.
What did you think of the trailer, though? What did you think of the whole thing?
You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to see that movie, Trey.
I think we're going to see it regardless, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting. Ryan Gosling being in it gives me enough faith that it's not just like another
You say that.
movie.
But Michael Fassbender has been in some stinkers, and you wouldn't think he would be, you know?
What? Name a stinker.
The Assassin's Creed movie.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Done. All right. Point for Trey.
Yeah.
Put it
point
on
for
the
me.
board.
Put it on the board.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to see it regardless. It looks really cool. I know it's not going to be as good as the original because nothing is ever as good as the original.
Yeah.
You know, most everything, especially when you have so much time and it's such a revolutionary film as far as kind of being one of the first sci-fi noirs and kind of influencing all these movies and games and literature and pop culture since then.
It's also
like Alien, you know, it's like Alien, how it was so influential. And it's never, you know, Aliens was great, but, you know, but Alien and Aliens are never going to be done again. Because they were so influential. And same with Blade Runner. It's such an influential film that it's never going to be as good. But, you know, it's I don't think anyone should expect it to be. It's like what Mark Hamill was saying in that video.
Right.
You can't expect things to be as good as the original. This is the original.
Definitely.
What are you going to say? I'm sorry.
It's okay. You were going on your thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but it is done by the director of Arrival, right?
Yeah. The thing is, though, Arrival was more of the screenplay than the directing.
I don't know. There's some pretty
There's some great shots in there. Yeah, there's some good cinematography.
Yeah, that's a great looking movie.
Yeah.
So as long as we're talking about trailers, Trey, do you have a one that you loved?
Do I have one that I loved? I don't
do you
know.
have a trailer? A favorite trailer?
No, not really. I don't really want to talk about trailers anymore.
All right.
I was kidding. I brought up the topic of that.
Yeah, and just leave me
Just
out
leave
to
me
dry.
out to dry. No, I thought about this.
Get that point revoked.
Yeah, that point revoked. I was thinking about it recently. Oh, by the way, a Spider-Man clip came out, but it was just that scene where he was like with his best fat Asian friend, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're Spider-Man!" It was just that. It was pretty much that. You don't need to watch it. Anyway, I think trailers. I think except for like the original trailer for Alien, and I'm probably missing a whole bunch of other ones. Trailers have really, I think in the last 15 years, like they've been really, really good. They've been better than they were, and you know, all the way up till about the year 2000, maybe 1999, like late 90s, 2000s.
Especially as like the internet came around and the way people consume trailers is totally different. And
wasn't the Spider-Man trailer like the first big, like amazing trailer? Or I think the Iron Man trailer was like one of those, it sold people. Like it was one of those trailers that actually like it's considered one of the best trailers ever made, and it sold people on this Iron Man, which no one knew what the hell Iron Man was until that trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like they should get their own Academy Award for trailers.
Oh, I would agree with that. I mean, it may be more of an advertising thing, and I'm sure there's some sort of Addy. Is there an Addy Awards? Is that a thing?
Know. Maybe there
golden,
has to be
a golden pencil. Is
golden goose? Yeah,
I think that's one thing that Don Draper was going for.
Yeah, Mad Men. You know, I've not seen the last 6 episodes of that.
Well, you want me to ruin it?
I already know what happens. I just need to.
He wrote a Coca-Cola ad.
Yeah, and then they all sang it at the end, and then he just was like smiling, kind of.
Yeah, because he came up with a
Coke
great
ad. Yeah.
Sorry, everyone who's been waiting on Mad Men. You got your shit wrecked.
I don't know why I haven't seen the last 6 episodes. I just didn't. I'm going to though.
It's good. But yeah, so trailers, they're their own sort of thing, and that can be a good and bad thing because you can have movies that are cut into really good trailers, and then the other way around where movies don't necessarily get their just due because they're not necessarily known how to be boiled down.
Yeah.
And I think they've also kind of learned a lot because as trailers became bigger, I feel like they've stopped putting as much of the movie in the trailers, which is nice. I mean, I don't know, like Atomic Blonde or whatever, it's just like a ton of fight scenes, which is cool. But it also isn't like helpful really to be like, okay, this is what this movie is.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I think my favorite trailer that I ever saw that I was like, oh, hell yes, this movie's gonna rule. The Wolf of Wall Street trailer was so good. It I think it came out like 2 days after Yeezus or whatever, and it
that was a really good one.
And it had I guess it was Yeezus, and so it had a black skinhead.
Huh?
I think that's the name of that's the name of the song.
Okay, sure,
I believe.
All right, so about skinheads.
Black skinheads, Trey.
So yeah, it's interesting you brought up the point of a lot of trailers don't do the movie justice. I'm trying to think of anything recently, but I know that it's like go back and watch the trailer for the original Star Wars. It's terrible. It's so bad. It's a bad trailer. It's just like, in a world, in a galaxy far from ours, and we got superheroes, we got damsels, we got all this stuff. You know, it's bad.
Check out the Space Dames.
Yeah, the Space Dames, see? Hey, look at her, it's Princess Leia.
Hey, check it out, there's a robot man. He's silver and gold.
Yes, see, you got Darth Vader. He's a real bad man. Yeah, it's pretty much that. And I think my favorite trailers, thinking of them, I think the Watchmen trailer was so good.
The Watchmen trailer was really good.
I'm
trying to remember.
It had the begin as the ending is the beginning from Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, yes.
Is it bright where you are? Which should have been in a Batman trailer. I think actually it was originally. It was in the Batman and Robin soundtrack.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it works for Batman. I actually thought about doing a mashup video with the Dark Knight trilogy and putting that with the song, but no.
You know what I think is a underused thing in trailers?
What?
When they get kids to sing. Just imagine, all these trailers are being made. Just imagine if there was more kids singing in them.
So I was gonna bring up
the Social Network trailer.
I like that one though.
No, it's great.
I like
that's
it a
the
lot.
first. That's like the first one that I remember being like, "Oh, this is cool," and then it was
you're right.
a ton of
because it worked. It was.
It's great.
The song fit too, and actually I did a parody of that, which our friend Austin's in. Have you watched that before?
I have watched it.
Yeah, and he's in it, and I dug that trailer a lot.
I like how we're trying to distance ourselves from Austin, like. My friend Austin.
I said our friend.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm just saying that it's like not that there's an hour and 30 minutes of him talking.
Yeah.
He doesn't click
exist.
Down from anyone who's listening to this.
He doesn't exist ever anywhere. No. Yeah, Austin is. Yeah, he was in that video, which probably is one of my favorite videos I've done. That one. We'll do the sequel with you. Don't worry.
The
sequel to it.
Twitter.
Yeah. The Twitch one, because it was about YouTube, about like a YouTuber,
right.
And then at the end he goes, you could always try Twitch, which kind of is funny. It's kind of what's happening now is all these people are going to Twitch.
Are you saying that you predicted Twitch?
No, I think it was evident.
Twitch
it was
explosion?
Evident at that point, but it's happening.
Maybe not to the normies.
Yeah, not to the normies,
but to the people in
the inside,
in the shit,
in the shit, man, in the shit,
deep in the shit.
I always liked Lord of the Rings trailers. I thought those were really good when they came out. I'm trying to think of some other really good trailers, man. I mean, anytime a trailer has like a good song with the trailer and like they do the beat use mix, the beats with the. Are you looking up some trailers?
Yeah, I'm looking up see what a list of the best trailers would look like.
Best trailers. Yes. Anytime I know it was a Simple Man, I think it was called, where it used a lot of sound effects to make sort of a kind of a pattern that just got louder and louder and louder. Simple Man trailer is really good. It was a very small Coen Brothers movie that came out a few years ago. It wasn't that big. It was pretty small, but it was a really good one. I like how the Coen Brothers can just one day they'll do, No Country for Old Men, and then the next day they'll just do, we're just gonna make this little movie, put it out.
The first list I chose did not go well.
Okay.
They had Lilo and Stitch on there.
Yeah.
They did have Blair Witch, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, see this list. It has The Watchmen.
Yeah, Watchmen's good.
And it has Dark Knight, which
the Dark Knight trailer was great.
Fellowship.
Yeah, Fellowship. There you go. That was a good one.
Forrest Gump.
I don't remember that trailer.
I don't remember that.
In a
one.
world where mentally retarded people run really fast.
Cloverfield.
Yeah, I remember that trailer. It was
Mm.
all right. It was just that one scene in the movie.
And then Alien they have as
Yeah,
number one.
Alien's the big one. And I like the Prometheus trailer a lot because it was sort of a mirror of the Alien trailer. It was kind of like that, where it's that noise, that
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was a really good trailer as well, Prometheus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Trailers, man. Trailers are good.
What a fun thing they are.
That was a fun little conversation we had about movie trailers.
Just, guys, all the big studio execs listening to the little podcast that could.
That's what we should name our podcast. The little podcast that could.
Let me just tell you, get more kids singing, you guys.
What other podcast or what other trailers had kids singing?
Oh, there's plenty. Let me look it up.
Before can look you in the eye.
Kids singing trailer.
Want you to notice.
Have you ever listened to the like Swedish girls singing I Touch Myself?
No, I have not. That sounds like a thing that I might have to watch my own time. Want you to know.
All it came up with is a bunch of trailers for the movie Sing, which is for kids. Just
There's your trailer. So if you have any favorite trailers, please, make sure you write the show. Give me a tweet or a text at Cray Trey Vids or at Adam
text?
Fullertron.
a text.
Yeah, a text. A sext. Yeah.
Oh,
Let us know
no.
what your favorite trailer.
Trey,
trailers are on
enough
Twitter.
of the begging for sexts.
Another trailer. Just tell us what your trailers are.
All I'm finding is this Sing movie.
That was a bad
Not
idea.
what I want.
Yeah.
There's been so many.
Like what? You can't name them.
No, there's
The Dark Knight Rises trailer was really good. I remember that one. That was a really good one. Where all the football players fell in the
Right.
ditch. And the Bane's like, I will break you, Batman.
Right. that one has kids because what a beautiful singing voice.
Oh, these children sing. Yes. Occupy Gotham, you will. Yes.
Yeah, they're singing the.
Hello,
these are
Batman.
trailers for things. Boy Choir, which is a movie from 2015 with Dustin Hoffman and Kathy Bates.
I didn't know
How
that
did-
came out.
Here we go. 20 more recent trailers with sad cover versions of popular songs.
Okay, there you go. Hello, Batman. I am a social allegory for socialism, yes. I don't know if that was really it. I just can't think of anything to say.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad trailer.
Yeah, you're right. That one did.
X-Men.
What are we? No, hey, let me do my impression of the Suicide Squad trailer. What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah! Yeah! I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to make you squeal. It's my Jared Leto Joker.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Girl on the Train.
Okay.
That was just a slowed down version of Kanye West's Heartless.
I am so heartless. Never gonna die.
Insurgent. Did What a Wonderful World.
What a wonderful world. It's so wonderful. I made Facebook. I'm a millionaire, but I'm in your privacy. I know what you're looking at. I've read those emails. Whoa, whoa, you're looking at the porn. Any more?
Did you make that up?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Thanks.
Second week in a row, we got Trey singing for an
Yeah.
extended period of
You
time.
don't get that on the GamesCast.
No,
We
you
got
just,
serious conversations on the GamesCast
about what?
about a lot of things. This one's the more fun podcast.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
So we watched a movie.
we did watch a movie.
I watched it. Let me tell you, it was 30 still frames every second coming at me. It appeared like it was a moving image.
Yeah, a movie. A movie. I guess you wouldn't really call them films either anymore because they're not really shot on film. And you don't watch them.
This is the whole thing.
What do you call them? What are we going to call these things?
You know what? That's a great question.
Yeah.
Put up a poll.
We need to have a poll. Tell me what we should name moving pictures on the screen. What should we name those? Framies? Digis?
Let me tell you, I'll say it's $12 out of my pocket. Oh,
damn.
Boy.
Oh.
God, these movie theaters, am I right?
Jack up the prices, am I right? Huh, what do you want with this popcorn? An arm and a leg?
Oh, hey, whatever happened to the guy who was like made out of the film strips?
I don't know. What happened to him?
I don't know. You know the guy, though?
Yeah.
Is the Cinemark?
I don't remember that.
They killed him and they put those red balls for Coca-Cola instead, I suppose.
Yeah. So I had we had a conversation last week where we kind of talked about kind of old movies that we liked as kids or teenagers or youths, adolescents, and kind of, I don't know if you really liked the movie when you're a youth.
Oh no,
Okay.
I definitely did.
But the whole, and it's funny because I looked up an article and it was on The Onion. And it was like, man, really regrets rewatching Fight Club and Donnie Darko as an adult, and it's sort of, I've kind of heard like two of the big movies I think for people our age, for males our age, is the two kind of big films, everyone's favorite films from back then are Donnie Darko and Fight Club.
Yep.
And I like both of them, but I would say Donnie Darko was always something that I really enjoyed, but in recent years I've kind of looked down upon, and I kind of wanted to rewatch it and see what we thought about it now.
Yeah, I would say I was similar, where
Mhm.
those were two of my favorite movies. Donnie Darko always felt a little more special to me,
Mhm.
like it was
Yeah.
something that I kind of knew about. Even though there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh yeah, we all watched this,"
Mhm.
but it felt a little more underground.
Yeah.
I guess so. It was like close to my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it is something that I've feared going back to watch. And just kind of not wanting to
Sure.
embarrass myself.
I accidentally watched I was going to watch the theatrical one, but I had some issues and I accidentally watched the director's cut.
The director's cut is the one I watched as
Yeah.
well, because that is the DVD that I
Yes.
have at home.
Yes.
First of all, watching it on DVD, wow, that's the first time I've watched a DVD in a while.
Yeah.
And it makes it look like 20 years older than it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I had the PlayStation 4. I could have put the DVD in, but it's just a whole rigmarole. I'm lazy. I'm really lazy. I can't do things that normal people can do because
Well,
I'm lazy.
You're making it sound like you just were too lazy to put the disc in. There's other things in your way.
It's hooked up in a weird way where I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna download it and illegally and just watch it on my computer.
You own the DVD.
I do own both the DVDs. I own yeah.
Richard Kelly, come down to Fight Night and
I'll fight you, Richard Kelly.
fight Trey for
I'll fight
his
you.
$3 rental fee.
But I'll wear Frank the Bunny suit. I'll wear
Ooh,
that.
Into that.
So
A rabbit punch.
I guess before we kind of get into the weeds, what was your general impression going back to it
Like afterwards or
Yeah.
before?
afterwards? Well, did we talk about before already, or
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I was just making sure.
okay? So afterwards,
Not as bad as I thought.
yeah,
There's obviously some things that I'm kind of like, oh, this is like the me that's like
Mhm.
kind of dark and
Yeah.
and disturbed. Like, oh yeah, I'm a loner. But for the most part, I still enjoyed it.
yeah.
Maybe I didn't laugh as hard as like,
Man,
go back to China, bitch, which I thought was hilarious at the
Yeah.
time. But there's still some legitimately great like comedy scenes and some
It's
super
a
interesting.
it's a lot funnier than I remembered it being. Yeah.
There's a genuine good
Yeah.
comedy in this movie.
I thought the whole family was really well cast, and
The family's great.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's like kind of like, obviously Donnie has mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
But like both of his parents are like the coolest
Yeah.
people ever.
Yeah.
Maggie Gyllenhaal,
She was hot in this, dude.
she was very tan, which I
Yeah,
guess
she
I didn't
was.
realize that we've kind of gotten away from tanning as a thing. People are worried about cancer now.
Yeah.
And
who would have thunk?
Did you know that I was reading some facts.
That Maggie Gyllenhaal and Jake Gyllenhaal are siblings? I knew that.
Oh, well, all right, I'll throw that one out. Did you know how Maggie Gyllenhaal got the job?
How?
Okay.
I did not.
So this is from the trivia section of IMDb.
Okay.
The Internet Movie Douchebag. When casting for the role of Donnie's sister, it came to Richard Kelly's attention, Richard Kelly, the director, that Maggie Gyllenhaal would be available to shoot. The agent who proposed casting reminded Kelly of her scene in the movie Cecil B. Demented, where she drank urine.
Huh.
Though Kelly
Not
was
just, hey, this might work since our lead actor
has actress
a
sister.
And that wasn't the thinking?
No, it
just
was that
urine?
that she drank urine. It goes on. Though Kelly was slightly hesitant towards the idea, he did like the way she drank urine.
Wow.
And knew that he wouldn't have to work hard
Maybe
to create
that's a story
sibling
we don't
rivalry.
We don't. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I went through some. I did look through. I thought it was interesting that this is one of those movies that became popular because of DVD. Like it had almost a humongous. Like it was in barely any theaters.
Well, you know why?
Why?
Do you really not know?
No.
Because of 9/11.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, I read that too.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out around 9/11, and because of the plane crash scene,
the plane engine,
they decided no. You want to know my favorite 9/11 related
Spider-Man, right?
Movie trivia? No, not Spider-Man. I'm interested. Tell me Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, the trailer of Spider-Man, it has Spider-Man catching two bad guys, and he webbed in between the two Twin Towers. And there was supposed to be a big fight on the Twin Towers, and they had to nix that after 9/11.
Oh.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a big fight at the end and on the Twin Towers.
Well, I'll dare to say that my 9/11 trivia is better.
Okay.
Do you remember the movie Master of Disguise?
Yeah.
Okay. From trivia on Master of Disguise, the scene at the Turtle Club happened to be filming on September 11th, 2001. When the word of the terrorist attacks reached the set, the cast and crew observed a moment of silence. So
back to filming.
So Dana Carvey is dressed up as a fucking turtle, and they're like, "Hey, the Twin Towers just fell." And then they gave him a good old Paul and
Paul and
and then
back to filming.
Back to work. Am I not turtley enough for the Turtle Club? It's so funny.
Oh my God. That's great 9/11 trivia. We need to have 9/11 trivia every day, every week.
I'll keep pushing for it.
Keep pushing for 9/11 trivia. We'll get that in there.
Okay. And then
I don't even know where we were.
Well, we were talking about our feelings of the movie. Maggie Gyllenhaal, who you said was hot.
Yeah, she was very hot.
As long as we're talking about the Gyllenhaals, Jake Gyllenhaal was not the only big name actor to audition for this role.
Oh, who else?
Vince Vaughn, who turned down the movie because he's so old, and he didn't believe that he could pass as a teenager.
Anytime someone says Jake Gyllenhaal, even though he's like 20 years older now, that's the image I get in my head of him. Like that's how I think of him as Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think of him any other way than Donnie
Unlike
Darko.
Vince Vaughn, who's looked 40 for the last 30 years.
I just think of Wedding Crashers Vince Vaughn.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg was interested in the part.
That would be weird.
But was only willing to play it
shirtless
with a lisp.
Oh, really? Hi guys, I'm Donnie Darko.
Yo, what are you doing? Listen.
Huh.
Why is Frank the Rabbit here? Why you trying to follow me?
Wow.
I see the rabbit. I don't fuck my family. And then also Jason Schwartzman was strongly considered, but had scheduling conflicts.
That'd be interesting to see. I say interesting to see how the career goes, but I don't know if that really did much for Jake Gyllenhaal's career. I don't know. Maybe it did. I think it actually did, because
I mean it's a cult thing.
I read something about him in Nightcrawler, where I think they saw the Donnie Darko, because Jake Gyllenhaal
But
doesn't.
that was years
yeah, I know,
later.
but I think you have to kind of watch that movie all right, if you're Jake Gyllenhaal and you're going to play sort of a psychotic character, you
right.
show him that.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Because he does it, and it's weird. Like how you said you watch it, when you watched it back in the day, you kind of related to the character.
Yeah.
I think I did too, but like now I watch it and I'm like, this reminds me of a friend of mine, and he has mental issues.
Well,
Like it's really on the nose, and he's really good at it because he's not like there are parts where he's kind of all like, you know, drool face and stuff, but like a lot of the nuances where he just kind of says weird things at weird times, and he gets really upset very quickly, and it's very, very OCD and schizophrenic and all that stuff, and he played it really
bipolar.
well. Bipolar, exactly. Yeah.
This one thing, you're probably not going to get it now, but I mentioned it during the movie because I watched it with Austin and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He, the whole movie, he sounds like Adam Sandler 90s voice.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, hello, Swan.
Don't look at me, Swan.
Yeah. He does that voice.
He does do it in there, yeah.
A ton.
Yeah.
He sounds it like it the whole time. And
maybe he was really well, I guess it was in the 80s, so he wouldn't ever watch it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there's that. If
Yeah.
you go back and watch it, get ready for Adam Sandler to be stuck in your head. I don't know. Is there anything?
I had a whole bunch of notes. I mean, I'm just going through it.
Let's go through it.
I mean, I think what is great about the movie is the kind of the music, the ambient music, the noises. I think that makes it really very tense. I think.
Oh, definitely.
I think a lot of times what makes a great movie and what makes a great atmosphere is the music and sound design. Because I think, you know, if they just put anything else in there, it might not be as good. So I thought the music really, really worked, especially at the beginning when he goes out the door first to see Frank, and then at the movie theater scene, which might be my favorite scene at the movie theater.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know why. It's just a cool scene. I like it a lot.
There was a lot more jump scares in it than I remember there being.
Really? Because I didn't notice that, I guess, watching it.
There's just a lot of like quick cuts, close-ups of
the bunny and stuff
of Frank and all that.
I guess I've seen it so many times that I kind of knew what was coming, I guess. Jake Gyllenhaal was 20 and Maggie Gyllenhaal was 24.
Right.
So yeah, very young.
Which also at this time, Seth Rogen makes his feature film debut
as a bully, just a sidekick bully character, which I thought the bullies were way too over the top. That's like way over the top.
I wrote down let's see, doing coke in the hallways is really cool. like
jeez.
And then he just like holds a knife up to his throat just for no reason. And then at the end, I guess they're robbing the jewels, which his dad alluded to.
Yeah.
But also in the director's cut, they have like a break that says like it's a few days later.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, your neck's bleeding. It's like, is his neck still bleeding from when he got like held up in the...
It didn't make sense. It was weird.
The main thing about Seth Rogen for me was that at one point he was young enough to play a student taught by Drew Barrymore.
Well, he was... Have you ever watched Freaks and Geeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably around that time, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was that young. And now he's the god of the stoners. And he's also a Pike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where did he go to school?
He didn't go to. I think
he just jumped in.
I'm guessing what happened because he's very involved in I think it's Alzheimer's and stuff like that. I think he might have gotten involved with a fraternity where they were doing like because like their philanthropy was probably Alzheimer's, and he got really involved, and they probably made him an honorary Pike.
Are you confusing that with the movie Neighbors and where he moves next door to a fraternity?
That's a good movie, but no, I'm not.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm not confusing that movie.
Just because that's a movie.
That's a movie. Frank voice, the voice of Frank still gives me the creeps. That's still like makes my hair stand up. Yeah, like he was like, "Hello, Donnie."
Yeah,
calm.
It's very calm.
Just very, Donnie. And I thought the scariest part of the movie is Grandma Death, where she whispers into his ear. I think that's the scariest part to me for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a scary movie.
No, it's not. It's sort of. I know this is a movie podcast, but it's sort of like BioShock. Have you ever played BioShock?
No.
You don't play video games?
I watch movies.
No, so BioShock is a game where it's a shooter, but it has horror aspects to it. I think Donnie Darko has horror aspects to it, but it's not a horror movie.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
It's
with
very
that.
horrifying, certain parts, but it's not a horror movie.
Yeah, so like some of the stuff that I was like kind of like rolling my eyes at as far as like things that didn't age well is like Donnie being like, he's like a rebel and a loner,
but he has all these friends,
and he has friends.
He's like has this big party at a school.
Also the smart guy,
yeah.
But like he's the one that makes the stand at the rally that gets the whole crowd cheering, which is like
he's kind of
it's
everything.
Like they're trying to play to all these sort of things, but like. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought Drew Barrymore's... You know what? And I think the problem I had going in was... I think what it was I listened to a lot of Richard Kelly's stuff. And he was explaining how, like, Donnie was this, loner, but he was also the coolest guy, and he was a superhero and this, and everyone was just, like, really... Like, no, that sounds stupid. Watching it, going back, I think I just didn't like Drew Barrymore's character. I thought she was sort of that too cool for school teacher.
Oh, no. It's definitely...
guys.
It's definitely, like... what you thought you wanted your teacher to be in high school, but now you're like, that person's probably around my age, maybe a little bit older, and like I know those people who are just like, oh yeah, I'm in passing.
Look,
so much wisdom.
I have so much wisdom, you kid. And then the
like,
line of sit next to the cutest boy in class. It's
God,
that's really awkward to say, and I guess it's. I think the whole point is that they're all vessels trying to get Donnie to this one point at the end, but it's still like...
Right.
It's just weird. And I guess I didn't understand why she had to be run over and why he had to kill Frank and all that. I don't know.
I think it's just like they're all connected.
Yeah.
Because all the things that led up to that point... I mean, that's the whole thing with the like tubes coming out of them, is that they're all on a set path.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to happen.
Right. And... So I was trying to think about it. Is it like that Donnie says his fear is that he doesn't want to be alone in death, essentially?
But he kind of does die alone.
He does die alone in his timeline.
Yeah.
But his girlfriend Gretchen is dead, and his mom and sister are in the other timeline. So is he with them and Frank? I don't know. That's some of the stuff where it's like, this is Richard Kelly kind of just making a beautiful accident.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, because I think when Richard Kelly explains it, I like the movie less.
Right.
And I think I'd like the director's cut less because it explained more things. The movie is perfect when it's ambiguous, when you don't really know what's going on. It's more of the atmosphere than the plot. I think the writing's good, the characters are good, and the atmosphere is good. I don't think the story is necessarily the strongest part of the movie.
Oh, definitely not. No, it's definitely a mood movie.
Yeah.
Where like Gretchen is like first time she meets, so she sits next to Donnie because he's the cutest boy.
Well, no, actually,
then
she just said, "Hey, you sit there."
Right.
Yeah.
And then she gets like sexually harassed at the bus stop or whatever.
So just
like, hey baby, you're sexy.
It's like the Power Rangers where they had the bullies who were just they would get picked on. They're obnoxious.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then Donnie goes over there and is like, "Hey, why are you here?" And she's like, "My stepdad stabbed my mom 4 times, and we changed our names." And like you get all of it right up front,
it's a
which
very
is
high school script, like, all right, we're gonna write all this bad stuff that happened to her, and it's really over the top.
Right. But it's also like the very first thing that she does. She's had to change her name, and she's like, "Oh, Gretchen sounds like a good name." It's like, well, yeah. Now you're telling everybody that's your fake name. No wonder your stepdad came back at the end and took your mom away.
Yeah.
Dumb bitch.
And it's weird watching it.
Cumberbitch. Dumb Cumber.
Yeah, dumb Cumberbitch. Watching it more than once, it sometimes some of that stuff at the end loses its weight because you know what's going to happen. And so I think her, her mom being missing,
right,
and then him killing Frank and her getting run over, just loses all weight watching it the second time because he's going to fix everything. You know, it
I guess that's
doesn't.
true.
There's no weight to it. It doesn't feel like. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching it again, because he's just gonna revert it back, which is kind of sad because he knows he's gonna die. You know, and he knows he was supposed to die.
Yeah.
And so his whole thing is he's gonna die, and it was kind of sad seeing the parents cry and all that at the very end. I thought it was a lot more sad than I thought it would be.
Than you remembered?
Yeah, that kind of made me sad at the end.
Let's see. What other notes do I have? I have
Patrick Swayze was awesome
Patrick Swayze
as the creepy.
He's so great in everything.
And the teacher was she reminds me of so many just bitchy teachers you had.
Oh, it's great. That whole aspect of it was like in all the ways that it got high school wrong.
Yeah.
That like video presentation and then like these interactive things and hate and fear and just or fear and love. Just so that was so spot on.
Mm-hmm. He was really good. I always think though, he reverted everything back to the beginning. So, is Patrick Swayze going to still be a child pervert?
No, but he's disturbed because he's up crying at night. But no, his child porn ring is
so Donnie wasn't really thinking
thriving as ever.
Yeah, the way to go, Donnie. You saved a few people, but now these children are going to be exploited. Way to go, Donnie. You effed up.
Let's see. So. You know the scene where he talks about how he jerks off to Christina Applegate?
That was funny, yeah.
But really funny scene where he talks about how he just like she like wants to, his therapist wants to like get into deep into his psyche, and all he talks about is how he wants to have sex and stuff like that, which is how things are at that age. In the script, Donnie's fantasies were supposed to be about Alyssa Milano. This had to be changed to Christina Applegate due to legal reasons. So,
okay.
Alyssa Milano
didn't like that.
Quick to sue Christina Applegate, fine with being jerked off too.
There you go.
There's also, I mean, I just wrote down a bunch of little things that kind of made me laugh. His friends come over for the Halloween party, and then they're like, "Hey, we stole 4 beers."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, we got a keg," and he's like, "Keg beer is for pussies." And then it cuts to Reagan on the trampoline. Yeah. And the next scene is that exact same character getting beer from a keg. So he's like, keg beer's for pussies, and then is immediately like, but you know what? I'm a pussy.
Free beer. I thought also I think Richard Kelly hits some things like almost too much on the head, like when they went to go see Evil Dead, then you see it's Evil Dead and Last Temptation of Christ. Like, okay, I get what you're saying.
Right.
He's Christ figure, right? He's going to save the world. We get it.
Yep.
And it's a little too on the nose. When they're there's some unnecessary scenes. I thought some of the unnecessary scenes were funny, like the Smurfs, I think was really funny.
Yeah. But that's also another one that like I felt like cool about as a kid.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, I sit around talking to my friends about the Smurfs fucking.
But
he's like, oh, I'm so smart.
I think it's funny now because you realize how kind of he's not on that same conversational wavelength as they are, and that's kind of what makes it funny, I think, now. Yeah.
So what did you think about him using placebo, like the psychiatrist giving him placebos?
So I wasn't too weirded about the psychiatrist until that point where it's like he just admitted to 2 crimes.
Yep.
And then she tells him he's taking placebos, and she doesn't report the crimes to the police.
Nope.
She sends like the parents a message, but it's just so weird. It's almost like one of those, oh, she knows what's going on, Richard Kelly kind of things. Like, she just knows.
Also, he just said that Frank was going to kill somebody.
Yes,
which
he was.
Is admittedly his imaginary friend.
Yes, is going to kill somebody, and so now she's a part of this whole thing. She's a suspect. She's So that was weird, and I don't get why using the placebo thing. So like, he wasn't taking his pills, so he was hallucinating.
Well, he was taking his pills,
but they were placebos.
But they were placebos.
So he was hallucinating, really.
But he was still hallucinating, and he was telling her about the hallucinations.
There you go.
And she wasn't like, oh well, let's get this kid some real medicine.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't like she was giving him placebos and they were going away.
Yeah.
And like because that's kind of how you'd think that would
Yeah.
work. And that was why she'd be like, haha, I gotcha. They were fake the whole
no,
time.
he is totally insane. You need to give him some medication.
Get this guy some. Also, she has a completely separate conversation with his parents. And is like, hey, we need to up his dosage.
You're giving him placebos.
Right. And she didn't. So is she lying to Donnie?
I don't.
That would be even more insane.
That's really weird.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she's not actually a doctor.
Maybe not.
I think that she's lying to the parents, getting $200 an hour, as Donnie keenly
just
points
wants
out.
that hot sex with Christina Applegate.
Yeah,
stories.
Yeah. Also, Donnie's waking up from hypnosis.
Yeah.
With his hand down his pants and holding her.
Yeah, it's those were the odd parts. It's one of those like you obviously don't understand or didn't research what psychiatrists do while you're
no, they hypnotize people, Trey. Don't.
Yeah, just hypnotize
and then
reveal your secrets and you see the
Right.
bunny and all that and you talk about God and all that. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. I think this was a time when psychiatry was very hot. Sopranos was doing their whole thing.
2001.
And it was like it almost became
But he would be a guy that would need a psychiatrist. It's
Oh,
not out of
definitely.
the question.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was like at a time when people were like, hey, I need help. I just want to talk to somebody sometimes. And it's not like oh boy, this guy's like super loco.
Yeah.
And so I think people kind of started including it in a lot of movies, and I think this is part of it.
Yeah, I could see that. I'll look at my notes here. The Tears for Fears song was great. The do do do.
It's great. School, yeah, and that I guess I was reading wasn't.
No, it was originally in there. It was in the original cut. That one was at least.
Okay.
Yeah,
because that's what I thought.
That was a big one. My best friend, he actually had that as the last song at his wedding.
Okay.
I was so excited when I heard that. Like, dude, yeah, you're like awesome, because he's a fan of the movie too. Yeah, so he did that for his last song.
And then I know Mad World was was huge.
Yeah, it still is. I think people still use it as like
definitely
memes and stuff. But
yeah,
it's a good song though. I like it.
No,
you know?
it's great.
Yeah,
and it's
really haunting,
spooky as hell.
Mm-hmm. And just when they're all kind of, getting memories of what happened and whatnot.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think here. Yeah, like, so I think when you kind of know what's going on, it's not as good as when it's so ambiguous,
Right.
Like the whole thing getting flooded, the school getting flooded, and then him, the whole axe in that dog's head.
Mm-hmm.
He has superpowers when he's like in his trance thing, he can do that, but
that thing's pure bronze.
Oh my god. I like the principal because I thought the principal was just like, fuck this shit. Like, all this shit's going on. He always looked like he just didn't want any of it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I don't know. There are parts where it seemed a little too, like, Richard Kelly is just way too smart for everyone else. And I think it's cool to have a movie where you have to research it and all that, but it should have all the clues there for you. Now, the director's cut has it.
Right.
But the original doesn't. Like, you had to go listen to commentary, read articles, all this stuff to get what was going on. I don't know how you feel about that. What do you feel? How do you feel about that? Do you think a movie needs to have everything there for you to understand, or should it? I'm not saying things shouldn't be ambiguous, but to know what's going on in the plot.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important not to just have enormous plot holes and just be like, oh, it's for the audience to find out, because people, it's open for yourself. But like Vince Gilligan has a thing where, like, if you give the audience 1 and 1 and let them figure out that it's 2 on their own, they'll love you forever.
Yeah.
And that's different than just being like, none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it makes sense. I think the movie makes sense.
Well,
in
you saw
kind of a loose definition
very
of
loose
sense.
I mean, you realized it was something about time travel, and you needed to align some kind of path.
Right.
And I think, as far as that goes, it made sense.
Right.
But, like, as far as, I'm talking about more as far as, like, oh, he has superpowers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That didn't, you could not decipher that from, now, the director's cut you can, because it straight out tells you, but the original cut didn't have any of that. So you're just like, oh, how did that happen?
Right.
And I guess that's kind of fantastical. You have to imagine that by yourself, which makes it cool, but I don't know. I think
it's also like never used.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than the one thing. So it's almost more strange that they just decided to throw that in.
Yeah. I do think some of my favorite lines are, "Now you know where he lives."
Uh-huh.
And I like, "Why are you wearing that stupid man suit?"
Right.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's like, so he first talks about the stabbing in front of Patrick Swayze's house. He finds the wallet, which is his Time Life exercise with Ling Ling or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's all supposed to be tied together.
Yeah, and that kid is the kid in the video is the same kid who asked the question. Yeah, he's kind of in there. I like the fat guy in the tracksuit. That was a weird thing. I forgot about that totally.
Right? Do you know what that is?
No,
I read about it. I didn't.
Okay, yeah. I know there's something significant, right?
I mean, it's not significant really. The FAA thought it was weird that the plane fell, so this guy was just keeping an eye on him.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing something about that.
But it's like,
yeah, it's weird.
If that's what it is, then one, he's not doing a good job because this kid's flooding his school and burning down houses.
Yeah.
He's just ruining his first kiss.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, do you want to kiss me?" Or he's like, "We've been going out
for 2 weeks."
And then she's like,
"You want kiss?
Oh, are you wanting a kiss?"
And I don't want kiss.
And then he like goes to kiss her, and she's like,
"No,
nah, man,
I'm cock blocking you, bruh. Not doing that,
man." And then they have sex eventually.
So Drew Barrymore's character though was kind of annoying, and I like Drew Barrymore, but her character was kind of that more like, I'm too smart for the school, and the whole sparkle motion. Oh, my other favorite line is, I doubt
your commitment to
I doubt
motion.
Your commission to sparkle motion. I use that a lot.
So good. Yeah, that's like the line.
Yeah.
From this movie, if there is one.
Yeah. I doubt your commitment to sparkle motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I thought that kind of weird, just because I have 2 sisters in dance, and I just one of those things. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's such a small part of the movie, but I feel like it's definitely from a guy who doesn't have daughters and sees dance as this thing that's kind of just exploiting kids, where really there's actual artistic merit to it.
I think he was doing his whole thing, and then he was like, all right, this plane falls, and he was like, oh, you know what would be interesting? If his mom and sister were
on the plane. They need to be on the plane somehow.
Right. So I think it was kind of reverse engineered from that.
Sure. Why are they on the plane? A competition? What kind of dance competition? I could see that.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that totally. Not a big deal. Just something that having 2 sisters, I kind of noticed it in a certain way. It was like, obviously was trying to say something with it, but whatever. I like that the mom. She's really she's very attractive for an older lady.
There's a lot of attractive older ladies in this movie.
Like Grandma Death.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was the president in Battlestar Galactica. That was her big thing. Yeah.
I would have banged her in that too.
Yeah. Yeah. What was her name in that?
Laura Aunt Death.
Aunt Death. Yes, that's true. But yeah, she was great.
Let's see. What else? Oh, the police officer. This is just small. So the plane engine crashes through his room or whatever the first time, and Donnie's asleep on the golf course.
Yeah,
and comes through, and the police officer's there, and he's like, "No one through," and he's like, "This is my house." And
yeah,
like, no one through.
No.
And he's like, "This is my house," and then he just like walks through, and he's like, "Huh, okay, I guess I did my best."
Yeah, and it is. Yeah.
So this is kind of a thought that I had during it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we're on the same page where Richard Kelly is not a genius for this movie, but the movie itself is kind of really interesting.
Yeah, I would say it's not a movie I would necessarily go up to someone and say, you need to watch this. But it's something that I don't think it's tarnished as much as I thought it would watching it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess my big thing is how surprising it is that people have like more than one big idea it just goes to show kind of how crazy it is that there are, the Tarantinos, the Scorseses, the people like that. When you compare them to Richard Kelly or M. Night Shyamalan and stuff like that, who have big opens that people enjoy anyway, and just like aren't able to follow. Like that's basically like I don't
one hit wonders. You get those music.
You don't watch Silicon Valley, right?
No, I need to though.
Okay, in this next season, so he's invented this thing that would make all file sizes crazy small, and then he gets kicked out of his company. So he's like, okay, I got to think of another once in a lifetime idea. So it's kind of like that, where it's like, I mean, of course, the box isn't going to be good, or
Southland Tales,
because you're just kind of like, let me try to recapture this magic. And I guess that's kind of where, like Tarantino specifically is kind of where I'm at, and Wes Anderson, where it's like, okay,
no, you
so
don't
this
like
is
Wes Anderson though, right?
I don't like it, but it's in the same sort of like, okay, so this is the mold, and then I just have to fill in
or Christopher Nolan
parts.
Yeah. I would say Christopher Nolan. You have Inception, you had Interstellar, you have the Bitman, and I guess some of these things like I mean, Martin Scorsese doesn't really work out because I don't know how much he puts into the scripts. I'm sure he has a hand in them, but he doesn't write them usually.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still though.
But I mean, I just feel like so much with like
Tarantino though is
with
definitely good
Tarantino
example,
and Anderson, where it's just like, okay, Tarantino, it's like it's going to be hyper violent and it's going to be witty dialogue, and then I just need people that can kind of push that sort of vehicle.
Sure.
And then Wes Anderson is just like, it's going to be super like nostalgic and like twee and
Well, even Ridley Scott, he did, as far as sci-fi, he's really only famous for Alien and Blade Runner.
Right.
Because I was looking at his like top 10 movies, and a lot of them I've not seen. He did Thelma and Louise and Gladiator. Now he did great films, but I think it's harder when you're dealing with more of the weird, more of the sci-fi, more kind of out there kind of movies because I don't know. I think there's it's tough to create new ideas and to create interesting ideas and creative ideas, and I think that's what Richard Kelly did. I think that's what M. Night Shyamalan did, was trying to play with that. All right, we got to make it more weird. We got to make it more twisty. We got to make it more bizarre out there. And you can only do too much of those, until you kind of run out.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Just forget me. Don't dump this.
I won't forget you. I won't ever.
Just throw me out with the trash.
No, that's awesome.
Oh, you haven't seen Gladiator? That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was one of the ones you said that you hadn't seen.
No, it was like a list of every movie he's done, and a lot of them I hadn't seen. But I've seen Gladiator. I've seen Thelma and Louise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure, because if you hadn't seen Gladiator, then we might have needed to do that one.
No, I've seen that one. I've seen it. So yeah, pretty much I'd say Donnie Darko, not as bad as I thought I was going to be going through, but I think I kind of pinpointed why I didn't like about it, like in the past, and a lot of it doesn't even have to do with the movie itself. A lot of it's sort of Richard Kelly himself is kind of what made me not like the movie. You know? And Drew Barrymore's character wasn't that great.
Yep,
and all that. So, yeah. What about you?
I'll give it a Papa Smurf jacking off to the gangbangs.
Yeah,
which is, so it's like not good because you're not part of the gangbang.
No.
But like you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, enjoying yourself. I'll give a I'm trying to think of something funny that you kind of said. Man.
How many human suits?
I'll give 5 human suits out of 7 human suits.
Okay, yeah, of course. Okay? Out of the common 7
7, yes. 7 human suits, 5 out of 7 human suits.
Okay, cool.
And I'll give a 1 bullet hole in the eye.
Ooh.
Yeah. Special. And I'll give 2 kitty porn rings out of 3.
All right.
Yeah. There we go. We went there. Good job, family.
Donnie Darko.
Good job, guys. Donnie Darko. So I think next week we're going to talk about
Guardians?
Guardians of the Galaxy. We're gonna see that this weekend.
Oh, I thought we were gonna do Guardians the Owl movie.
Yeah. I remember I went to a Doc in the Box. They had that playing on the TV there.
Yeah.
Guardians. It was really weird.
Legend of Nim.
Legend of Nim.
Not Nim. That's the mouse.
That's
movie.
that movie scared me as a kid.
Legend Guardian.
Or Secret of Nim. You're thinking of.
Yeah. Guardians Legend of.
Guardians of the Legends.
Guardians
of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is what will.
Electric Boogaloo. We'll see that next week, and maybe we'll talk about other things too. We're gonna run out of things to talk about eventually.
Legend of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Ooh, that's a mouthful if there ever was one.
Yeah,
movie titles.
Acceptable.
Acceptable movie title.
Yeah, not as bad as Bad Owls. It was out at the same time as.
Oh, there's another movie about owls too?
Yeah, there's a couple owl movies.
That's so weird how that works. That happens a lot where just movies will come out at the same time.
Yeah.
Like Sherlock. Like there's a whole bunch of Sherlock movies and TV shows coming out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You had Armageddon and Deep Impact come out at the same time. You had I think it was Congo and 13 Monkeys come out at the same time. Mm-hmm.
12 Monkeys?
12 Monkeys. I always mix up 12 and 13. I don't know why I do that. But
like in everything? Like in just like counting?
No, just with the movie, 12 Monkeys. Yeah,
okay.
12 Monkeys.
I'm done, Trey.
You're done? You don't want to talk anymore?
Yeah, I'm done talking.
Well, Adam, it's been fun. We had a fun show.
Yeah, you only almost got fired once.
Well, what did I get fired for?
I don't know. You wouldn't tell me.
I
You
won't
refused.
tell you. Don't worry about it, Adam. Don't be doing lies, okay? Why are you doing lies?
I don't know. Sometimes
Adam.
it feels good to lie.
Adam, just shut your mouth.
I like to do bad things.
I know you do. It's okay, little buddy. Okay? So that's Superior Films Cast 64.
Ooh,
Almost.
Oh, I would have jumped over this table.
Adam thinks video games are trite and therefore peasants.
Yeah, I games, video contests.
I'm way past that trivial nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So this is Super Films Cast 64. We're on every week. We usually post on Wednesday. We've actually been really good about it. Unlike a certain podcast I'm on, we're good about being on time on things.
I'm trying. At least got to get it started on the right foot.
We got started on the right foot. Adam's a good kid. Go follow him on Twitter at the Fullerton.
That's me.
And he is Yu Darvish wetting himself with liquid.
Yeah, he's pouring water all over his face.
Yeah, that's Adam for you right there in a nutshell. So go follow Adam. He posts a lot of funny things about sports. And you can also follow me at CrayTreyVids on Twitter. And Adam, do you have anything to promote in your life?
Let's see. This if you're listening to this, it'll be next Wednesday. I have an improv show at the Dallas Comedy House. Watermelon opening for Photobomb, which is way funnier than us. So watch us try to make you laugh before Photobomb comes and actually does it.
It's not true. What time is that?
It's at 8.
8. Okay. Well, it looks like we're going to have to reschedule me and Austin's podcast again.
Well, I mean, it's over by 9.
Okay. All right. Well, have a fun time with doing that. I'll probably try to be there because I like you guys and I want to support my friends.
Thanks, Trey.
Yeah, I'm a good friend. And even though me and Adam don't talk after the pod,
That's not true.
We usually keep a very distant, hands-off relationship. Like that's my whole goal is any podcast I'm on, I want it to turn into Mike and Grego where we don't talk except during the show.
Well, you offered me a lot of money to go run onto the White House lawn.
I did. Oh, you offer you a lot of money.
A lot of money. It was like, wow.
Yeah, I showed you the money too.
I was like, Trey, you have $80?
Yeah, I know. It was a ton. It's my life savings. Anyway,
I got to get me a job up at the ticket.
I know it's lucrative, bro.
Yeah,
it's so lucrative.
Radio.
You know how much money I have? I still live with my parents. That's how much money
you have. A sum.
I have a sum
of money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna move backwards. I'm gonna go from a dying TV station to radio. Then maybe I'll hit up newspapers, be a telegram reporter.
God, I hate everything. All right, just stop listening now. We're done.
Bye.